Last time, the thing watching you was small, a cat, asleep by your own fire. Tonight we leave the house and go down to the water. You are alone in a small boat, far from shore, on a sea so flat it lies like black glass. And then the water beside you rises, not a wave, a shape, smooth, black, blotting out the stars. A vast dark head leans down and asks you one quiet question. How you answer decides whether you live to see the morning. Tonight, the Umibozu, the sea monk.
Welcome to Yokai Night. Every couple of nights, I take one Japanese yokai and dig into its history, the customs that shaped it, the old legends, and its monsters cousin around the world. Tonight we leave dry land and sail into deep water, for one of the oldest and biggest fears is the Umibozu.
The Umibozu is a giant of the sea. Its name means sea monk, Bozu being a Buddhist monk because of its huge, smooth, hairless head, round and black, like a shaven priest's, breaking the surface of the water.
Why a monk, though? That's a strange name for a sea monster.
In Japan, a shaved head means a priest, and folklorists think that is the point. The priest appearing at sea would have meant a funeral. Beyond the head there is little else. Some are given great round eyes, many have no face at all. And its size is never fixed. In some tales it stands as tall as a man. In others, it is a black mountain that swallows the whole horizon. If that already sounds familiar, it should. This is the boss that rears out of the black water in the game Nioh, where a lot of people meet the Umibozu for the very first time.
And when it comes, it attacks the ship.
It wrecks it. The Umibozu rises, leans its great weight over the boat, and capsizes it. But here is the chilling part, it doesn't come in a storm. It comes on the calmest, stillest, safest seeming night of all.
So the calm water was the dangerous water.
The most dangerous of all. A storm, at least, you can see coming. The Umibozu comes when the sea is holding its breath, which is exactly why old sailors learned to mistrust a sea that lay too flat and too quiet. The Umibozu rises out of the Edo period, Japan from the 1600s to the 1800s. The country was closed to the outside world, and almost everything inside it moved by sea.
Why by sea? Why not roads?
Because Japan is a chain of steep, mountainous islands. Hauling rice or timber over the mountains was slow and ruinously expensive. By boat it was cheap. So the coastline became the highway. And at the end of that highway sat Edo, today's Tokyo, a city of 1 million people, the largest in the world at the time. Nearly everything it ate, burned, and wore arrived by ship. The sea fed them directly, too. For over 1,000 years Buddhist rule kept meat off Japanese tables, so fish was the protein for almost everyone. The water was the road and the dinner table.
So an enormous number of people spent their lives on the water.
Constantly. On the Osaka to Edo run alone, around 160 cargo ships worked the route. And the ship they did it in would frighten you. 25 to 30 meters of wood, handled by a crew of only 12 to 16 men. One mast. One enormous square sail. One huge rudder, worked from below deck. And no keel, no backbone running along the bottom, so nothing held it steady when the sea shoved it sideways.
That sounds terrifyingly fragile.
It was. Historians count 341 cases of ships blown off course and lost for months. And those are only the ones where somebody came back to tell it. The ships that simply vanished are reckoned to be many times more. So the fear got drawn. The most famous picture of it is by Otagawa Kunayoshi, the one on screen. A vast black head with a smooth skull lifts out of the waves beside a boat, staring down at a sailor named Tokuzo.
So it's a sailor's monster, first and foremost.
Entirely. And the sea he crossed was never empty water, it was crowded, with the dead, with spirits, and with rules. You did not whistle, in case you whistled up a wind. You did not say the words for snake, or monk, or the dead. And you never spoke the Umibozu's name out on the water. The sea was listening. So a sailor's life came down to silence and respect, a cup of sake tipped over the side, and never a reason given for the sea to notice you. Here is the most famous encounter, told up and down the coasts. A ship lies becalmed at night when the Umibozu rises beside it, vast, dripping, blotting out the sky, and it speaks. It says just 4 words, "Lend me a barrel." It is a trap. Hand the Umibozu an ordinary barrel and it will scoop up the sea and pour bucket after endless bucket of black water into your boat, until you are swamped and dragged under.
So you refuse it?
You can't refuse the sea, either. The old tales give a cleverer answer, you hand it a barrel with the bottom knocked out. It scoops and scoops, the water runs straight through, and it can never fill your hull. By the time it understands, you have slipped away into the dark.
And the question? You said at the start it asks a question.
In another strain of the legend, the Umibozu looms over the boat and asks one thing, am I not terrifying? Or simply, are you afraid? Admit your fear, say yes, and the sea takes you. The sailor who lives is the one who looks up at the black giant and answers, no, I fear nothing on this sea, and means it. By nerve or by wit, by a steady voice or a bottomless barrel, what you give back decides everything. So what was really rising beside those boats? Folklorists and naturalists have a whole shelf of answers. Let's take the sensible ones first. Plenty. A whale surfacing right beside a small boat. And this is not a guess. In 1820 a sperm whale rammed and sank the American whaleship Essex, the wreck that gave Melville his Moby Dick. It happened again in 1851. Ships and whales still collide constantly. Around 20,000 whales a year are killed in strikes, and East Asian waters, off Japan, are one of the danger zones. A flat-bottomed wooden hull would not survive one. A giant squid. A sudden waterspout, twisting black water up toward the clouds. A rudder snapping in the dark. To a frightened crew by lamplight, any of these became a leaning giant.
Then, why invent a monster at all?
Because of what the calm takes away. When a ship is lost in a storm, everyone on shore knows why. The wind is the reason, and the reason is visible to all. When a ship is lost on a flat, windless night, there is nothing to blame. No wind. No wave. Just an empty sea, and a boat that never came home. That missing explanation is the hole the Umibozu fills. A disaster with no visible cause is given a face, so that it can at least be spoken about.
And the less sensible answers?
The sadder ones. The Umibozu shades into the funayure, the ship ghosts, the spirits of everyone who ever drowned at sea and was never brought home for burial. They were believed to rise especially around Obon, the festival of the dead. And the Hmunk in its name may be exactly that, the shaven head of death and mourning, the Buddhist face of everyone the sea had kept.
Why does the sea grow so many giants?
Here's our reading. The sea was the largest, hungriest, least controllable thing in an old fisherman's whole life. The Umibozu is what that feels like, given a head and shoulders, the moment the calm ocean stops being a road and remembers that it is a depth, with you very small on top of it. The Umibozu does not sail alone. 3 close cousins share its waters, and we know their faces because in the 1700s an artist named Tori Yaremar Sekien catalogued Japan's monsters into illustrated encyclopedias. There are the funayure, the drowned dead, painted here by Takehara Shunsen in 1841. They rise around Obone and beg a passing boat for a ladle, and if you hand them a whole one, they bail the sea into your hull. There is the Umibozu, which Sekien drew in 1776, a blind monk of the waves, who appears beside the boat and tests the sailors with his questions. And the Ayakashi, which he drew in 1781, an immense sea serpent that drapes itself over a whole ship for hours, so long the crew must keep scooping away the oil dripping from it, or sink beneath its weight. And here is the thing, every people that ever put a boat on deep water imagined a giant waiting under it. Off the coasts of Norway, the Kraken, a sea beast so vast that sailors mistook its back for an island, and that could wrap a whole ship in its arms and pull it down. In the ancient Near East, in the Hebrew scriptures, the Leviathan, the great untamable beast of the deep, against which no vessel and no harpoon could ever stand. In the Solomon Islands of the Pacific, the Ardaro, a malevolent sea spirit that rides down waterspouts and sunbeams to strike fishermen out on the open water. And in the frozen seas off Greenland, the Kalupalik, a green, long-haired sea creature that surfaces by the ice, humming softly to pull the careless down beneath the water.
Every ocean, a giant rising.
Every ocean. So tell me, off your shores, what comes up out of the deep? What is your Umibozu? Tell me below. So where do you go to stand at the edge of all this? High on a mountain in Kagawa, on the island of Shikoku, sits Koto Hiragu. Everyone calls it Konpira-san, the great head shrine of the god of seafarers. For centuries, sailors and fishermen from all over Japan climbed its 785 stone steps, or sent offerings on ahead, to beg protection from exactly this, the storm, the wreck, the giant on the calm night. You can still make that climb today, past stone lanterns carried up by old ship crews, to a hall hung with model ships from sailors who came home safe. And from the top you look out over the inland sea those boats once worked.
People still thank the sea for letting them come home.
They do. And the Umibozu still surfaces on screen, looming up in Gegege no Kitaro, rising as a boss in games like Nioh and Muramasa, brooding in the demon ranks of Shin Megami Tensei. Two of anime's toughest men are even nicknamed after it, Gintama's Umibozu, and City Hunter's Falcon. The reason is the oldest one there is, both of them are completely bald.
So it never really sank.
Here's our last thought. We have mostly tamed the sea now, we cross it in steel ships and watch it from satellites. But step onto a small boat, far out, on a dead calm night, and cut the engine. That old feeling rises with the dark water. The Umibozu never really left, we just stopped going where it lives.
And that is Umibozu, the sea given a head and shoulders. If the water beside your boat ever starts to lift, say nothing, hand it a bottomless barrel and don't admit you're afraid. If you enjoyed these, do subscribe. Next time, a strip of white cloth that flies through the night and wraps around your face. Zaitan morning. Until then, mind the calm water. Good night.
And if you want more monsters, our sister channel Monster Atlas explores the beasts and cryptids of the whole world.